shedding light on domestic violence against men. Imagine a man sitting alone, bruised, and even sometimes bloody, feeling trapped and nowhere to turn because no one believes he is the victim of domestic violence. This is a grim reality for countless men in America and around the world. Shocking as it may seem, studies indicate that 1 in 7 men in the U.S. have experienced severe physical violence as well as psychological and financial abuse. These numbers are alarmingly similar to those seen among women. Today, we're going to look into the often overlooked issue of domestic violence against men, a topic that affects millions but is rarely receives the attention that it should. I've gathered different insight from everywhere from the CDC, which is Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, to the Mankind Initiative, which is an organization dedicated to highlighting male victims of domestic abuse. While domestic violence is predominantly discussed in the context of female victims, it is vital that we understand that men experience this just as much. We're going to explore 3 areas in this topic. One is the different types of abuse that they experience, the different barriers they face when they want to get help, and how society can improve the support systems for the male victims. The first we're going to look into is the different types. There is physical, psychological, and financial abuse. Domestic violence against men is a significant issue, with many men experience all 3 of these forms of abuse. Unfortunately, their experiences are often overlooked. Studies have shown that approximately 1 in 10 men in the U.S. have experienced sexual violence, physical violence, or even stalking by a partner they are intimate with. These can be anywhere from manipulation to threat to controlling the man. Male victims often suffer from lasting psychological impacts as a result, similar to women. Another one is financial abuse. This one is where the abuser controls the man's assets, so it traps him in the relationship. Tactics can include controlling the bank account, restricting funds that they have access to, and even forcing them to get credit card debt or loans. This form of abuse often isolates the man from help, as the societal expectation about masculinity pressures them to remain silent about their struggles. Now we're going to look into the different barriers men face during their search for help. A major factor in the social stigma surrounding masculinity often prevents men from admitting they are victims. Many fear being perceived as weak and unmanly, leading them to remain silent. Traditional gender norms emphasize that men should be physically and emotionally strong and not show that weaker side. More so, there's very limited resources and lack of support services when it comes to domestic violence in men. Most domestic violence shelters cater to women, leaving the men with very little options. This leads men to feeling unwelcome in those environments, deterring them from seeking the help they need. Legal challenges also complicate matters. Law enforcement see men as the primary aggressors, even when they are the victims. This misperception can lead to hesitancy in reporting the incidences, further silencing the male victims. Finally, psychological effects such as shame, self blame can prevent them from reaching out. They internalize those feelings of guilt, believing they should have been able to prevent the abuse from happening. How can we raise awareness? Raising awareness about domestic violence against men is crucial to creating a more inclusive response to abuse. Public awareness campaigns can change societal perceptions, making it more acceptable for men that are currently silent to seek help. Educating the public about the male victimization can challenge stereotypes and foster empathy. We should also expand the support services to accommodate male victims and make them feel more comfortable. Domestic violence shelters and hotlines should be inclusive to everyone, just not women. The staff should be trained on how to ensure men feel safe coming forward with the abuse allegations. Finally, support and advocacy are essential in promoting policies that recognize and protect male victims of domestic violence. We've uncovered a hidden side of domestic violence, one that affects men and yet rarely is discussed. By recognizing this issue, we take an important step towards supporting all victims of abuse, both women, men. They deserve the same level of awareness and compassion and support. Let's challenge the stereotypes and advocate for inclusive support systems, whether that be through supporting gender neutral policies or spreading awareness. Each of us can contribute to a society where all victims are seen, supported, and empowered. Thank you.